See who comes in. Decided to go live a little bit last minute tonight. Whoa. Got two people, so notifications went out. I'm sitting in my truck. Crap out of there. Need a shave. Hey, Belinda, welcome. I'm not at work tonight. I was waiting for Frances, and finally she came back. She's not going live. I don't know if she's having internet issues, storm issues, phone. Well, she said phone and computer, so. Hey, just watch, welcome. Oh, so she can go into YouTube, but she just can't go live. Okay. Might be something in her settings. I don't know. She needs to maybe check her email and see if there's something. If there's a reason why she can't go live. She can go onto YouTube and can't go live, then she needs to check into why. Did she get a strike or something? I know that sometimes they'll do that. It's above zero right now. I don't hear the machines kicking on. I'll tell you, the cold night was Sunday night going into Monday morning. That was the night when there was no power. There was no power there, so of course I had to do my shift. And crew came in about midnight, and they were sent home around 4 because they couldn't do anything. Waiting for PG&E to get there to turn the power on. There's a certain procedure you got to follow, and because it's such a high voltage, it's like someone climbing up on the line trying to mess with it. Only certain people can do that. Like I said, there was no heat, so it was like I was sitting there stuck. It power went off, winds kicked up, power went off. Oh, actually, it kind of went off, came on for a few seconds at a time, and then we heard metal flying and banging and things getting flipped over. Oh yeah, Alaska, yeah. I first wife had some family. He was stationed, or actually it was her, um, married to someone that he was in the Air Force. That was years ago, but they were in like Alaska for like 7 or 8 years, and then they got transferred from Alaska to Texas, and this was like in June or July. So they were like suffering real bad. But get back to the and they expected me to walk around. It was like the winds were probably between 40 and 50 miles an hour, and we had a tree snap off. Um, yeah, it was one tree. Well, it was half a tree because it was the base was like one base, but there was like it was like a V. Two trees coming up out of the one base, and one side just snapped and went into the front office. Um, didn't do any serious damage. Joe, my family, welcome. I didn't do any serious damage, but there was like ladders knocked over, trash cans knocked over. There was it was like a metal awning that was on the ground. Um, they hadn't put it up yet. They built it. It hadn't been put up yet, and it was probably about 10 feet wide, 8 to 10 feet wide, and then probably about 5 or 6 feet out. And it lifted that completely up and moved it about 10 feet out into one of the little roads there inside the plant. And there were several other things. There was like metal shelves that had been blown over. They kind of, and actually one of them was right in the walking path. And I seen that the next night. I was like, yeah, no. I'm glad I refused to do my rounds. And I mean, at first they wanted me to, and it's like, yeah, and you're in home indoors where it's nice and warm, and the wind's not getting to you, and unless a tree falls out on your house, you're in absolutely no danger. So the person I was leaving, she called the supervisor on duty and said, "Listen, this wind, we got stuff blowing over, we got limbs breaking," and she's like, "Okay, well if it's too dangerous, don't do it." Yeah. The Haunted Explorers, welcome. Black Eyed Shorty, welcome. And where's that? Kristen Wildman. Haunted, Haunted Ray. Well, thanks for coming in. Welcome, everybody, welcome. We're just starting off, my chat stopped. Oh, there we go. Yeah, but because I was a crew there, I really didn't get a chance to talk to Nick. I tried to get a hold of Nick over the weekend. I'll make contact with him to get a hold of him. He was like right there. I guess he didn't feel like talking, so I didn't get anything. I did another EVP at another location, but there was some background noise. So I got to review that with some headphones and try that. Because, I mean, I did hear some stuff. It did show that there was some things being picked up, but like I said, there was some background noise. It might have been that. But I also had that picture sent to me. Ghost gimmicks, we hunt on it. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I usually do. I'm probably going to be hopefully put some footage up this next week. Because I knew the winter was going to get here. Hey, Dumpster Dad, Brian Kim, welcome. Small Town Investigations, welcome. I knew it was going to be too cold to get out and investigate or wet, predictable weather, so I recorded a lot of extra during the summer that I'm going to be putting up. I got one that I got started. I'm going to get into it later tonight. And because there's one, it's like I'm doing the spirit box, and I hear an EVP, but it doesn't sound like it's from the box. I mean, it was just real quick. I was going over it. I'm not sure if it was like going right into the camera, or it was just like super, super clear through the box. I mean, it sounded almost like somebody was standing right next to me, and yeah, no, that wasn't there. Paranormal Circle, welcome. Oh, I think I got my other phone with me. Oh, shoot, okay, I got my other phone in here. That's what that was, an alert. I'd like to get my cards out tomorrow. If the weather's, there we go. The weather's not too bad. Not too cold, not too wet. Not too windy, and maybe do some card readings tomorrow. Probably in the later morning or in the early afternoon. I'm not sure what deck. maybe the Dragon deck, kind of like those, the Dracones, and we'll see what they have to say. Um, Surprise. Bama Bell, welcome. So how are all you guys doing? Any paranormal activity around your homesteads? Oh, I did get a picture. That one I put up. I don't know how many people follow me on Instagram, but I got a picture that's on the property there. And if you look up at the um, top left window, you can see a semi-transparent person standing up there by that. And then, I don't know if you know Anna Castro. That's Ray the Fam's wife. She follows me on Instagram, and Ray told me that she saw another spirit. It looked like another spirit in the steam coming up above where the men are working. You ever get notifications? Sometimes what I have to do is, when that happens, I gotta like unsub, wait a minute, because it'll say undo. I'll have to wait till that passes, and then I'll go back and I'll sub, and then ring the bell, and that fixes it sometimes. That's what I have to do sometimes when I wasn't getting it. Hey, Truck Lady C, welcome. Yeah, we got I'm working on getting my a night vision camera. I've got quite a few from PayPal donations to put towards it. Just a little bit short on that, but that's what I'm working on right now. Yeah, and Christine, I haven't got into the box yet. I may not get that out this week. What I'm going to have to do is, because you are in Canada, so I have to check into the weights and what's going to be first class and what the break off for first class, and then has to go to priority and check out the different size boxes and weights. So that's probably going to be maybe next Friday before I can get some of that stuff out. But yeah, there's that tote's been sitting there where I figure roughly about 22 years with that stuff in there. So it's older stuff. It's not anything that's come out in the last decade. Hey, Steph Opal, welcome. $300, yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking roughly for the night vision, it's going to be somewhere between $250 and $280. I know there's probably going to be some cheap ones, but I don't want to go with cheap. I want to go with quality, so I can do Spirit Box and get a good clean picture. Okay, cool, Christine. Yeah, I just thought about that when I looked at the address. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, because here I could just do it like, ground to ground, but it's got to go through customs and all that other stuff there, and so you have U.S. Postage Company and Canadian Post. So there's going to be some books in there. I'll tell you that now. There's going to be some other stuff in there that is probably from, I'm going to say, oh, geez, the early 90s. It's probably some of those collectibles. So it'd be over 20 years old now. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about is getting orbs because if you not on my I don't think I put it on my channel. Is on the T Pit channel, the Tulare Paranormal Investigation Team. Um, we got a video that was like just cram packed full of orbs, and the thing is, when I started that video, there was a the curtain rods that hang down. It started. We were looking at it, and it would start swaying, and then it would slow down, and then it would speed up. So I grabbed this. That sounds like a plane. I grabbed this camera on my phone, and I was trying to get in there and trying to watch it. And as I'm watching it, all of a sudden I see all these orbs come zigzagging around, and I mean you can hear my when I realized it in the video. If you use headphones, you hear me like pop out with the holy shit when I started seeing them. Um, I don't know. Me coming to New Orleans, um, I'm doing good to get to Fresno right now. Cuddly Kathy, welcome. Okay, Brian or Kim, I'm not sure which one you are. Um, you have a good night. Thanks for coming in. It's on it's on my T Pit. If you go to my what do they call it? My watch lists. Yeah, I think it's my watch list, and there's one that says T Pit, and if you go in there, it's got a link to the T Pit channel on YouTube. We don't have a lot up now. We just done one investigation. Well, we done a couple, but 3 investigations so far. Pink orbs? Yeah, my playlist. Let me see if I can do this one-handed. Um, okay, give me a second. I'll turn the volume all the way down on this one in case. Damn it, the video pops up. Oh, come on, damn you. No, I don't want the camera. Turn the volume down now. Okay. I'll see if I can throw it up here. Playlists. Yeah, there's only 2 videos in there, so let me see if I can. Pretty sure I got a description. Yeah, there we go. Go to the T-Pit channel now. And it's going to let me share the link here. I'm working on it, guys. Okay, we got Several Spirit. I'm just going to see if I can grab the video. And now go back to mine. Oh, shit. I'll be right here. Let's see if I can. Okay, let me see. I gotta go back in there. And here. Okay, there we go. That's going to be a link to the video with all the orbs. You can go there. You could try to. I couldn't have the channel thing come up, so you can go back later and check that out, or just go in there real quick and sub and then pop back. I'd appreciate it. But there's a lot of, and there's actually there's a lot more orbs than what you can see there in that it darkened, and I lost a lot of the orbs. and the original footage, raw footage. But that's what we started doing. The curtain rod was swaying, and then I was watching that, and all of a sudden I seen all these orbs like shooting across the camera. I'm like, wait a minute, what the heck? And I was sitting there watching them, and they're like, some were going, and then some would come out of the curtain, and they looked like they were like pulsating. You know, they'd get brighter and then dimmer and brighter and dimmer real quick. And some were zigzagging and then shooting across, swirling around. Hey, Atlantis Paranormal, welcome. It says error on the video. Just go to, let me see, well, what's our cert? Let me, let's see if I can just get into the, it's not letting me do, my phone, it's not letting me do a whole lot with my phone tonight. Let's see if I can do this. Okay. This is the channel. Let me see if that should just take you to like the channel page. And I'm losing everybody sitting there playing with this other phone trying to get it up. Arlene, welcome. We got Atlantis. Bridget. Well, it's good to see you in here, Bridget. Glad you popped in for a little bit. I came on when you were going to be awake. I'm thinking about doing cards tomorrow, so you might want to keep an eye out for that. Okay, and then that's the okay, we got here. See a Step Opal, what you said, please don't. Because I've never seen one with a pointed head. I've seen one that looked like a real human. Yeah, well, pure black. It's like blacker than night because I could see this thing walking across a dark parking lot, and it was darker than the night sky around it. So I mean that's the only way I can describe it. Some people have told me, Chasing the Unknown, welcome. Some people told me that they've seen, this was on an Indian reservation, and they've actually seen someone was like, not a pointed head, but it had like kind of like spikes on his head, and the spikes were red. Um, the one I seen, it didn't have red eyes. It looked like a regular person walking across the parking lot, and that's what I thought it was. Somebody just out walking around, and they walked right by the Ed Center, and there was like super bright lights that they had they had an outside door and kind of like a little quad area. It was covered, and it went into the computer room. So they had like really bright lights on that door, and that way the cameras across the street on the tribal building we could still see. And it walked under there, and it was like it soaked up the light. I mean, there was no light reflecting. A person you'd have light reflecting off of, but it was like you couldn't see a face. It was just basically um, a silhouette, and it was pitch black that absorbed the light. And it walked behind a support pillar for the roof cover, and it never came out the other side. Hey, Hillbilly Holler. Um, no, I haven't seen a top hat. I mean, that I realized. Um, what time I'll be doing the readings, I'm not sure. Um, because I'm just going to drop my tailgate, what I've done in the past. Drop my tailgate, so it's going to have to be later to, probably later morning or early afternoon. Um, have to wait for everything to dry up and make sure that there's no wind. And, because I'm going to be home working on a video that I shot actually over the summer. That's going to be one of them that I shot over the summer. And trying to get that up. There's some EVPs, not a whole lot. But there is some impressive EVPs in there. Yeah, blacker than black, Stephanie. There's just, I mean, it was like pitch black. That's why even if you have like a black car, you can still, when the light hits it, you can see light reflecting off of it. You know, the light reflects off of it, and you can see like different tones. But this was like there was no different tones. It was just solid, and the light wasn't reflecting off of it. But it looked like a person. They're walking. They're swinging their arms. They kind of a sway as they're walking, and it's like they walk right into the light. And as soon as I seen that, the first thing in my mind was, "Holy shit, that's a shadow person." And as I was thinking that, I went behind that big pillar, and it never came out. Yeah, no face. It was just, I don't even remember, because I seen a profile. I don't even remember if I seen like a nose on it, because it was like when it got in the bright light, it was like maybe a second, and that's why I was like, holy crap. But by the time my brain realized that it was behind the pillar. Oh, you're leaving, truck lady? Make sure oh, top hat. That's top hat is Chasing the Unknown with KC Indiana. Welcome. Yeah, I was going to get back to that comment and the video the other day, and it's like I got so bombarded with so many so quick I couldn't find it. But yeah, I got a lot of some. You can look through my videos, and that's what I did. That's just going through cemeteries with the SB7, and most of the time there's going to be a lot of spirits there that will be willing to talk. Um, don't be surprised if you get a lot of F bombs. Um, it's there. They'll mess with you. Some of them, you get an earthbound spirit, they'll mess with you, call you names, say nasty stuff. Don't worry about it. Um, yeah, a shadow person. Exactly. I never really. I heard shadow person, and I was thinking like like a shadow on the ground. It's like there's a shadow being cast on the ground, and there's something casting it, but you can't see what's casting it. No, this was like boom, there it is. There was no doubt in my mind uh, what it was. There was no semi-transparent to it. I just me. Oh, I seen one the other night outside the shack, but it was for a split second. It wasn't a shadow person. It was a male. They had on either light gray or a light beige because I seen them, and it was like a fraction of a second. By the time I realized there was a person there, they had already, I was watching it just like boom disappear, and it was like I looked up and like that, it was gone. That's how fast it was gone. As soon as I seen it, gone. No, it's not. It's not on the wall or it's not on the ground. That's what I thought. Hillbilly holler. It was something like that on the ground. No, it's like just imagine it's a you see a person, and if they had like a skin tight spandex suit all over their entire body, and you can see 3 dimensions to it. You can see it standing there, and that's what it is. It's like if somebody put a skin tight spandex suit over their head. I mean, all over their whole body. It was a form-fitting thing for their body, and that's what they had on. That's what it looks like, except it's uh, darker than the spandex. If they were standing in an area with almost no light, you could still see them because they'd be darker than the area. Oh, see, I want to go out tonight. I don't know. It's too cold here. That's what I was thinking about. Maybe when I was thinking about the card reading, is like I could go do a live stream from a cemetery, but I was thinking, well, I haven't done cards in a while either, so I mean, I could go to a cemetery I've already been to a couple times because there's some I'd like to go to, but there's no bars there. It's like maybe 1 or 2 bars, and I can't. Um, um, are they evil, Arlene? I'm sure some are, but the actual feeling I got when I seen that one was like I didn't feel it was threatening. I mean, it could have been, um, it could have been an interdimensional. It could have been a ghost, um, and that's what I think some of them are when we see shadows. Some of them is like our mind is not able to, if something comes in from the fifth dimension, the fourth, fifth, sixth dimension, and our brains can't fully, see them, see what its true, form is, that we can see, but we can't see those higher dimensions, so it just looks like a black shadow, and that's how our mind interprets it. Um, but I didn't feel like this one was threatening. I felt like that's just his natural form. And that's kind of weird. I didn't feel good. Didn't feel evil. Didn't feel neutral. I mean, it felt neutral. It was like if you see somebody walking down the road, unless they're, have some sort of weapon, it's like you're not going to feel threatened by them. Peripheral vision, okay. Yeah, always use your. I mean, if you got I'll just say like a spidey sense. Um, if it's if you're getting a bad feeling from it, you have to ask why. It's like, are you getting a bad feeling from it because you're not comfortable seeing it, or is it projecting a bad energy that you're picking up on? I mean, you have to look into that. Yeah, and they're gone. he probably got a lot of history there in New Orleans. There was like I'm sure you had a lot of serial killers. You had those, what was it, that jazz? It was like a jazz man serial killer that would show up, and he had either I think it was a hatchet or something, and he would hack his victims up. And he finally wrote a letter to the town officials. Said he was going to kill more because nobody was able to catch him because he was like in and out in minutes, no witnesses, but people were hacked up. You might know what I'm talking about, Steph. But he wrote a letter saying that he was going to go and he was going to kill a massive amount of people. He was leaving town, but before he went, he was going to kill a massive amount of people. But if he came up to the house and they had, he could hear jazz music, he was going to give them a pass. And that was a serial killer. That was back in, I think, the late 1800s, early 1900s, where you're at, Steph. Well, you're going to have to take some pictures of those inscriptions. Put them up on Instagram. I'm going to tap this. Oh, okay. And nobody's going to judge you here. That's what we're all about. Paranormal activity. We got a few lurkers. If you're new to the channel, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Ring the bell for notifications and smack that like button. Oh, and something I was thinking about now. I can. Somebody brought up using and I don't know if you've done this, Atlantis, using a parabolic microphone when you're using a spirit box or doing for EVPs. I don't know if you've ever done that, how well it would work. Yeah, well, that's what they have. That's what they used to do back in the day. I'm not sure if this was recent, Stephanie or Steph Opal Opal. Um, they would um, they would have the viewing in the parlor of the house, and the bodies would stay there for a few days, and then if it was a cemetery, they would be taken to the cemetery, or they would be buried close by. Okay, now I was thinking about that. Now, when your parabolic mic, is the bowl plastic? Is it plastic or is it metal? Because I was thinking, if those worked, how well would it increase if you had a bowl made out of crystal or quartz crystal, or had quartz crystals attached to it? Would that help? Would that help increase what you are picking up? Okay, so it's metal. I know I wouldn't mind. I'd have to get a whole setup, but that's not what I want to spend what I've been putting back for. I want to get night vision before I get into that. So I was thinking if somebody's got more resources than me, um, finding a finding a bowl made out of quartz crystals, would that, or just a crystal bowl? Because I don't know, it'd be hard to find one made out of quartz, or if one was could be made with quartz in it, if that would do anything. And yeah, Steph Opal, the next investigation we're going to do is at, hold on, dang, um, is at the Tea Pit founder. We're going to do a Tea Pit investigation at the founder's house. It's a little over 100 years old, um, right about that. And the owner, his wife, he had at least two kids, and his wife had died in the house. And that's where they were. They had their the viewing in the house, and then they were buried in the backyard. Um, and then later, the bodies were exhumed and moved to the city cemetery when it came about. Yeah, Atlantis. That's what the stuff I'm going to be going over now. Um, I was at the old winery where I used to work at. I'd been there for years. I'm in a room, and I didn't hear it when I was doing the recording. I actually left the room because I wasn't hearing much come through the spirit box. But it sounds like it's very, very clear. I have to go in. I got to play with the speed to hear um, what it said. But it was like it was real quick. But it was like crystal clear. And I'm questioning. It's like that doesn't sound like, because you know how it is when you hear stuff over the speaker and it's got that sound mixed in with it, and it's just got a certain tone. This sounded like somebody was standing right next to me and talked into the camera. And it wasn't my cell phone, it was my, I was using my Canon camera um, for that. And that's what it sounds like. Somebody talked right into the camera. Um, and it didn't come through the box. Yeah, I don't have much room for getting too many devices. Atlantis, I live in a studio. So I really don't have. I mean, I've had to get rid of a lot of stuff, and I still got more crap in there than what I really have room for. I got totes like freaking stacked on the foot of the bed, the side of the bed. I mean, I got stacked too high, and it's just in the way. I wish I did. I wish I had more room. Oh, okay. I started to say, it's like, wow, my neighbors had a fire going today, and I had to close my door. I was actually nice where I could open my door up, and then they start deciding to burn, and it was like, it smelled like burning rubber. It's like I started checking my studio real quick, and it's like, wait a minute, man, because I'm smelling something bad, and something burning. I come out there and they got a fire going, and they're trying to burn like insulation and everything else. And I'm like, just closed my door and went back in. Okay, Hillbilly Holler, thanks for coming in. You just keep an eye out. Make sure you hit that. Uh, That's it. If you don't want an honest answer, then don't ask the question. Well, you have a good night. Oh, were you? That was a while back. That seems like a long time ago. Were you there at that time, Steph? Or did you kind of move into that area afterwards? Because I heard there was like the more outer lying neighborhoods. They haven't even. They've just been sitting there. They're rotting away. Entire neighborhoods just sitting there rotting away. They didn't even get a cleanup. Yeah, I think that'd be interesting though, Atlanta. So we could get a crystal bowl. I just think quartz would be, because it seems like if you check some areas, some areas here in the U.S., this got super high paranormal activity, and that's not just like spirit paranormal. It's like orbs, and you've got like strange lights and alien phenomena and Bigfoot and other cryptids, and it's like there's always in those areas there's like high concentrations of quartz crystal in the ground or in the mountains, and it like amplifies it. So that's why I started thinking, it's like, what if there was a quartz crystal bowl? Would that help like bring more paranormal um, in? Kind of like focus on the paranormal energy, the spirits and anything else like that. I know there's still people here. Oh, Bigfoot, yeah. But what is Bigfoot? I mean, they've found skeletal remains of larger um, primate primates than Bigfoot. So they've already found skeletal remains. So it's like, okay, I have no doubt. Is he transdimensional? I don't kind of really subscribe. I can say it's possible, but I think it's just Bigfoot is just another earthbound creature. Just like there's humans, just like there's black apes, there's black bears, there's brown bears. It's just an intelligent. I'll say yeah, they're intelligent, but they're not. I don't think they're like from outer space or anything. That's my outlook on Bigfoot. I've never seen one hillbilly. Yeah, I've never seen a Bigfoot. Hey, Mary Town, welcome. Yeah, I've never seen one. Never smelled one. Um, I just open to the possibility. I'm sure that they do exist. There's been enough footage has been like critiqued, and people just usually, oh, it's a man in a suit, and it's like, no, they've got too much, or they actually map the moving of the muscles under the fur and skin, and it's like, okay, guys, these guys say it's real, and they've put all this effort into it, and then somebody standing over there, oh, it's a dude in a monkey suit. Okay, guy, um, prove it's a guy in a monkey suit. Recreate, take what they found and recreate it. And you see, they usually can't. Oh, you were 15 feet from one? So you can tell us, like, is it Is there a certain odor to it? Is it a musky smell, or did you smell it, or see it first, or how did that come about? What was your experience? Hey, Arlene's still here? Oh yeah, I'm sure there is some. I'm not gonna say every single one, every single sighting or video is real. I'm just gonna say some of the videos that um, they've put out. They've tried to uh, recreate how the creature moved to how a man could move, and it's like just the way the joints are set up, they couldn't move the same exact way as what they did in the video, and they were using high tech equipment. So um, I'll just say, yeah, that's science. Yeah, if you want to type it, I'm going to be here for a little bit longer. You know, it's kind of hard to really bring people on here when I've only got a phone. There's a lot of things you can do on the computer that you just can't do on the phone. Of course, there's a lot of things you can do with the phone when you're going live that you really can't with a computer. Yeah, I mean, holy holler! If you got a cell phone, you can sit there and you can write your experience down, and then you could actually do a live stream. There's also an option where it says on next to the live stream it says record. Um, I'm not sure how that part works, but yeah, that way you can get your whole story out. Because I know it's like we got just a phone. It's like sucks trying to type one letter at a time. Looks like it. There we go. Oh, okay, record and then upload it. Because I've never used that. Um, I might just try it one day, just for shits and giggles. See what it's like. See if you can edit. I don't know. I usually just go live on my phone. There we go live on my phone, and the videos I edit on my computer, and then I go down to the vape shop, and they let me use the internet there, and upload it to my channel. How do you, how do you do all your videos, Steph Opal? How do you do them? Do you like record it on your phone and edit, then upload, or? Because I mean, you got some really creative videos. I thought you had a computer that you did editing on. Oh, okay. I might do that. I got a laptop that I use that I went just to do that. But this phone I'm on now, I bought later, and just for live streams, so I could do live streams. Because my other one, I tried doing it with my other one, but the people couldn't hear me when I talked. And I think it was just the microphones. They might have gotten maybe dust or lint over time from being in my pocket. So I got this one. Oh, okay. I mean, cause you got some. I'm like, I see all the like the handwritten text. I guess that's when you draw on there. Cause I was like looking at some. I was like, wow, where are those fonts coming from? I've never seen fonts like that. When you do on your videos, yeah, the words pop up, and you've got all those colored filters on there. And I mean, heck, I thought you had some sophisticated computer you were doing that on. I had no idea you were doing it on your phone. And then you're mixing your audio and video, and it's like, holy crap. Well, I don't think it's messy. I think it's just like it's artistic. The way you do it, it's unique. But I thought you were actually like typing stuff in, and I was trying to visualize. It's like, okay, I could do that with text on mine. But it's like, oh, you got something going this way, and then you got right under going this way, and then something going this way, and I'm like, holy crap, man! She's putting all kinds of time into that. Which I mean, even doing it on the phone by that, yeah, you're putting a lot of time into it. Oh, the structures. Hillbilly Holler, yes, that's something I heard about recently. I heard somebody talking about it, and it's like, well, I've never heard about that before. The structures and the stones. Well, you're welcome, Steph. That's just an honest opinion. I mean, those are so creative that, and then to find out you just use a basic cell phone instead of a computer, it just kind of blew me away. Okay, Hillbilly, so you pissed off some Bigfoot or Big Feet. Hillbilly, and I heard some of them, well, the ones around here that I hear in California are more I'm gonna say enlightened. And I mean they'll grunt and stomp and I mean give you warnings, but I've never heard of a Bigfoot attack here. Anybody being attacked in this area, or anything being like attacked or vandalized vehicles going down the road or parked. I guess it was the intent, Hillbilly. You just didn't have to take a leak. You were actually trying to lay claim to an area that probably already had a claim on it. if anybody has just come in, if you haven't hit the like button yet, please do so. Smash it. New to the channel, you gotta subscribe and hit ring the notification bell. Oh, yeah, get out of there as quick as you can. Oh, retreat. Oh, that felt kind of good. Popped my back. Oh, the aftermath, no, not so good. Muscle spasm. Crap, I'm fogging my window up. Yeah, that's me. I want to see where the story's going here. Steph Opal, are you still here? On the country land? You're going to have to take a video out there one day, Steph. Take us back out there. And I never got the story of the birdhouses out there. I don't know if you covered it. Oh, your bulls and trees, yeah. And that's where you got the birdhouses? Is that where the birdhouses are too? Not where you stepped in the dog poo, but yeah, I've seen those. Yeah, I don't fare too well anymore on trails. I gotta have warmer weather. Yeah, I was at a park, you stepped in that. I think you said something about writing a dog do poo song or something. I don't know if you got to that yet or not. If you have, you have to wait till after this video or after this live stream, and then leave a comment with a link to that, so I can go check it out. Yeah, the poop song. I don't know if you got a title yet for that. So I'm reading about Bigfoot and a poop song. Two different conversations, same live stream. It's awesome. You haven't finished your poop song yet? Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I used to do lawns, and I'll tell you what, I was like, oh, man. One thing was one place was a like a pet sanctuary, and I think they had like 15 dogs there. And yeah, mowing the lawn, there was no way you could clean up that. We'd been there like all day. By the time we got that, then there'd be more from an area that we'd already cleaned. So it was just like mow. And it was like, yeah. So it was like all over the place. But it was like I never got it on my shoe though. I always was able to. I could hear and avoid it when I'd watch when I was after I passed over with the mower. I'd look for the little funky looking spots and make sure I didn't step there. Oh, okay. Yeah, poo foot no fun. Yeah, because it's like the only way you can sit there and you can wipe and wipe and wipe and wipe, but the only way to really get it off is like walking it off. I mean, you can't rub it off; it just smears, and you got those little patterns in the bottom of your shoe, and it gets stuck up in there. So it's like you just have to walk it out, and make sure you walked it all out before you go back in the house because you don't want it on the tile and carpet. That like, yeah, no. Then you'd have that smell every time you vacuum. It'd like be getting little remnants, and yeah, yeah, that's the only way to get it out. And it's always best to get it out before you walk in because, like I said, you don't want that in your carpet because that could be there for weeks until it gets all completely vacuumed out. Yeah, but what's a little bit better now is you got these vacuums that got like these little HEPA filters in there. So it's like after it vacuums the stuff up and it filters it into the bag, there's like a little filter for the air to catch that, so you don't have to deal with the smell. A 7 feet tall hillbilly, I think it was messing with you. I was just trying to teach you a lesson because if it's 7 feet tall, it's gonna have one hell of a stride. I'm sure it could have caught you real easy. Hawaii's here. Is that Obaki, Hawaii, or another Hawaii? I know there's several of them. Oh, you know what would help? Dang it. Um, go to live chat instead of top chat. Okay, you sleep well, Steph Opal. I'm looking forward to your next video. Now that I know you do it on the phone, that just blew me away when you said that. So you have a good night, and I'll see you. Keep an eye out for your videos tomorrow, and hopefully I'll be able to, the weather permits. Oh, okay, Arlene in Hawaii, okay. Oh, okay, you're saying you take your shoes off, okay. I thought you were asking, like Obaki, and I was like, oh, okay. You take your shoes off before you go in the house, oh, okay. I was in Hawaii back in the early 80s. I was stationed at Pearl Harbor. And yeah, there was paranormal activity. Yeah, it's sad that nobody's taking you serious, hillbilly. Get that thing down. Okay, thanks for coming in, Steph Opal. You ask questions. I said I ask a lot of questions. I don't always get an answer. Sometimes I get an answer, or I think it could be an answer. But that's the one thing about a spirit box. When you ask a question, it's a no question, and you get a yes no answer, you gotta ask yourself: were they saying, was that actually yes or no to that question, or four questions previous that you asked? That's why I'll ask the same question. I'll try to rephrase that to get confirmation sometimes. Also, you're saying this, and I try to listen for the same voice to give another yes or no answer. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and wind this down. I'm not sure what time it is right now. I gotta look. Oh, it's almost midnight. I'll see if I can go to sleep. Try to go over that video for a little bit, and then go to sleep so I can. I gotta pick out which cards I'm gonna use. Like I said, I think I might use my dragon cards tomorrow. Oh, there is. I think like last night there was quite a few too. Or maybe it was the night before. I'm not sure. There was a night when it's like I look on, and I'll have like you'll see 10 notifications, and then 7 of them will be live streaming at the same time. Out of the 10, 70%. And it's like, wow. I try to stop in a few minutes and everybody say hi, gives a thumbs up. Because even when you leave a comment, or not leave a comment, but you type in something in the chat, it's considered an interaction as well. So if you have, a really active stream, it considers it as a comment, like leaving a comment after a video. So, I mean, those help too. So I try to leave, 1 or 2 of those in there. Thumbs up. I stay in there for more than a minute. I try to stay in for 4, 5, 10 minutes. Because if you go on and you leave too soon, the AI's like, oh, that's kind of might be boring for that person. So I try to give it a little bit more time. But yeah, hillbilly. But that's what a lot of us in the paranormal community that actually like go out and try to prove stuff, and then we put up a channel, and somebody finds out, it's like um, somebody locally like finds out, it's like, oh, that's you. It's like, oh, you believe in that crap? That's a bunch of bull hockey, crazy people. So it's like, yeah, get laughed at. Yeah, we do. And then you have some people like, it's like, oh, you do that, and they check out the channels, like, and then they got their own story. I mean, one guy at work was like, he's like, oh, I've never seen anything here and all this and that. It's like, well, I've never seen anything there either, but it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And then another guy told me that told me his paranormal story. When he was born and raised in Mexico, and when he was 5 years old, he was bitten by a scorpion, and he died. And when he died, he said, I was above. He said, I was above. I was looking down. I was looking at my mom. I was looking at the doctor. My mom was yelling stuff at the doctor, and he said, I seen the light, and he goes, I went into it, and it was like, I didn't want to go back. He goes, I wanted to stay in the light. He goes, but they said, no, you have to go back. And he goes, they pushed me back into my body. And he's telling me about how he's talking to his mom afterwards, and he was like, well, I was dead, but you were saying this to the doctor, and then somebody over here was saying this, and while you were doing that, and he's sitting there explaining everything that they were doing when he was supposedly dead. And yeah, so I get stories. But I'm gonna go ahead and wind this down and go get back in, where it's a little warmer. Probably get my cards ready. And I don't know exactly what time. I'll just have to keep an eye out here and see when it's warm, when it's dry. Um, Make sure there's no wind, because I don't want my cars getting blown all over the driveway and then have to get a new deck. So I want to thank everybody for coming in. I appreciate you being here. Um, Keep an eye out for my notification tomorrow. Make sure that bell's rung before you leave. Hit the like button on the way out. Um, so everyone have a great night, good evening, good morning, wherever you may be. Sleep well, and until next time, everyone stay safe.